Imagine turning a small $200 budget to 336 leads. Sounds crazy? Well, we pulled it off. And today I'm going to break down a step-by-step strategy on how we do it so you can be able to take a little bit of ad spend and generate a lot of high quality leads. So here's what we're going to be focused on today. Number one, how to get more leads with less work. Number two, how I got 336 leads for just $200. This is actually for one of our clients and save you some money. Number three, we're going to focus on how to set up a winning ad even if you've never done it before, especially for my busy folks. And you're like, listen, I need you to help me out because I don't really have that much tech experience or I don't have the time. So how do I do that? So that's what we're going to be focused on today. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. So first, I want to share with you the actual results of what we got. So we got 336 leads for our client. And also that cost per result, which is the cost per lead, was 64 cents. And the amount spent was $214. So, I mean, just imagine if you got 336 leads. Imagine you have 336 people that says, hey, I would love your help. 336 people. I would love your help. Even if only 10% of them signed up to be a client, let's say you have a $1,000 program. So that's 1,000 times 30. That's 30K right there off of a $214 ad budget. So that's the type of power we have when you know how to get quality leads, a lot of them, and you have a high ticket program. So you can see what that looks like. All right, so let's go back here. And let me walk you through the PATE process. So it's called our predictive ad tracking engine, which is PATE. What that looks like is one, we do research. So it's research, it's your consultation calls or your strategy calls, and it's a mixture of your Facebook ads library. Now there's different ways you can do these. I'm just going to give you some of the basic ways to do it. One, research, easy way to do it. Join some Facebook groups. So for example, we work with a lot of coaches, shout out the clients and community. And let's say, I could go in here and I can say, all right, let me look and see, how can I get some information? So this person says they have a mid-ticket offer via a Facebook, Instagram ads. The leads is 15 minutes on demand. So the question is, sometimes I get people relying on the ad along the lines of how much or something similar short. So they're asking, so what do you do when somebody asks you how much? That's one question. Do you think an ad or image works best for an ad? So this question is about ads. Does images work? Or videos work better? How much daily traffic you spend? So right now it's definitely a lot about ads. They trying to figure out how to monetize email marketing. So you see how right now we're getting data on what people want to know. That's what's important, because this research that you do is what you're going to use is how you're going to be able to get the information that you need to start running more effective ads. Also, if you're doing consultation calls or strategy calls, or you're meeting with potential clients, you need to be collecting that data. You need to be taking notes. So for this person right here, right? So let's just say you took notes on a strategy call. So this guy right here is feeling uncomfortable. He said feeling comfortable to charge, but he's saying that he didn't have the confidence at first, and looking to find clients. Okay, well, that's good to know, right? It's interesting to know. Okay. Then also is seeing that the niche is with mental health. And I'm giving this is information that we use for ads because you want to find more people like the people who want your help. $5,000 goal, wants personal ownership. Okay, so trucker, wants to leave McDonald's. Procrastination, right? So I mention all of this because now we know who we're looking for, right? We know we have data. Now imagine having 10 people, imagine having 20 people, imagine having 50 conversations you had, and you taking all of that information, and guess what? We take this information and now we have it on that was like a Google Doc, so you could put that on a Google Doc. So that's another thing. So now you can put all this on a doc. So let's say you take the research you found from groups that you were in or any other methods, You got consultation calls that you've done, and then you can also leverage your Facebook ads library. So let's say, this particular, let's say Russell Brunson, Russell Brunson helps a lot of coaches, right? So what you want to do is you definitely want to look for some of the older ads, meaning, maybe just like anything that's like not today or usually this week, but weeks ago, months ago is usually good. And you want it to be related to your offer. So here he's talking about SaaS, which is software. So that's not really what we do. But I see one here. Let's see. So let's look at this one, right? So this one, it's an event, but it's the same psychology, sales psychology. So, he's talking about one-to-many selling. He's talking about you're not good at making sales, which I know a lot of my clients aren't. A lot of people starting off are not. They want the blueprint. They want how to be confident, how to craft offers, funnels, packages. You see what I'm saying? So like these are things that I'm like, okay, this is also great language in psychology. You don't ever steal somebody's stuff verbatim. You know what I mean? So you would not make your ad look like somebody else's ad, and please don't do that. You want to have integrity. But what you do is you take all of this information, you put it on a document similar to this, and then now you have everything. Now you have everything dumped on here now, and then what that does is that gives you the ability to take this information. Are you ready? Feed it into AI, right? And then now you can ask it any kind of questions you want. You can have it craft you ads. Now we have certain ways that we do it, but at the end of the day, you at least have the psychology of your ideal client, which is one of the most important parts of it. All right, so that is the first thing from what we just covered. So hopefully you took a lot away from that, because that is how we craft winning ads. So when you say, wow, you're able to get hundreds of leads for that little ad budget, is because we did very great research. I did very great research on the ideal client, on what they need, on what the psychology is, looked at winning ads, looked at the questions that was being asked, looked at the biggest challenges and the biggest obstacles. These are all things that I did. And then we crafted it into an ad that talks directly to that ideal avatar. And boom, we hit it out the park. All right. So that is the first thing. All right. So what's the next thing we're talking about? Now we're saying, okay, well, that's how you get more leads with less. Well, how did you actually get, the 336 leads? Like what process did you focus on in terms of the actual creation process of putting together the ad? Good point. All right. So let's go through it. So what we did, and actually it would be this. Should be this one. All right. So here's what we did on this, right? So here's what this looks like. So it comes down to a couple key pieces, right? We call these impact areas, ad impact areas. So your ad impact areas are going to look like this. So one is you got to focus on the creative. Your creative is like your images. It is your videos. So once you have all of this information now we say, okay, I want to put together an ad where that I want to put together good image or good videos. I really like doing a lot of videos. Images do work depending on how well the image is, but I like focus on videos. So saying, okay, based on what I know about this person, how can I tap into the pain points? How can I tap into the goals? How can I provide an offer that I know that they're going to want? Something that I know, a resource I know they're going to want. So then I put together the creative for that. Then also you got to put together the ad copy. So the ad copy is literally the description of it, right? So you want to put together, what does that copy look like, right? So that's the description because they're going to read it. So normally what happens is you catch their eye on the scroll and then they're going to start reading the copy of it. Then another impact area, these are like high impact areas because obviously there's like 100 things you could do in order to approve an ad, but these are like the top things that you want to do. The headline makes a big difference, right? And I'll show you some live examples of what this looks like. But you want to be able to also change up the headline because that's gonna stop people and make them and potentially make them click. And then your targeting. right? And then so specifically, who are you targeting, right? If I'm targeting coaches, then okay, great. There's different ways you can do it. Coaches use certain software, so I can target software of that coaches use. I have an ad campaign where we have, we're targeting different influences, right? So I've gotten a lot of people. So we've enrolled 588 coaches in our PCS program, our Playbook the Coaching and Speaking program. That is our flagship program, Playbook the Coaching and Speaking. 588 people. I've gotten dozens and probably at least 20% of my clientele came from folks that came out of the John C. Maxwell program, right? Shout out to John Maxwell. But what's interesting is a lot of that happened because that we kind of fill a gap that they're continuing to improve on their end, but we getting those folks who they end up meeting with us. They love what we do. We specialize in lead gen. I mean, we help people in everything, but we definitely specialize with the marketing, with the advertising, getting and finding the clients. We teach folks the whole process, but we really do well in that as well too. And because we also have an ads agency, so folks are like, yes, if I could just help me find my people, that's great. So with that being said, we get a lot of his people because we're targeting it, right? So that's part of the targeting that's there. Okay, so just so you have like some type of visual for it. So there's an ad creative piece of it here. Remember, I was talking about the ad creative. So we have edit media, and this is the actual account. So I'm not gonna be messing with things too much as I go around, but you have the edit media piece here. That's where you upload your videos. I usually just keep the placements. The headline, remember we talked about the headline. So then you have your headline here, and then you have your description. And so once we went through this process, we found out that, there's some folks have been using certain medicines, and the medicines haven't been solving the problem. And then we realized that, we want an older crowd. So, we started talking about retirement, right? This is why you got to know your audience. It's not everybody under the sun. So this is older people. So if you're older, right, you're feeling more tired, you're talking about retirement, you take a lot of pills, you have a lot of health issues, right? We talked about being overwhelmed, give a little bit of background, vegan chef, et cetera, plant-based. Maybe we want people that's looking for healthier alternatives, right? Then we went through this guide. So they like to read. We figured that out. Okay, so we gave a guide, right? These are all of the things we figured out as part of the guide that they will want. You know what I mean? And then, we gave a call to action, right? So, these are the things that when you really want to take your business to the next level, you have to do the work and the research. Everything is not going to be quick, fast, and a jiff. But on the same token, if you focus and you locked in, you can actually help a lot of people. So, but it takes some research. It takes really knowing what to focus on, because there are a little bunch of things that you could do and you could optimize and, mess with the pixel a little bit, or it's just a bunch of small things you could do. But if you focus on what we just did, it's going to allow you to make progress much faster, especially using our paid system. Okay. So with that, now that is number 2. And then number 3, we said how to set up a winning ad, even if you've never done it before. Now, I'm not going to take you through a whole Facebook ad tutorial, but this is what I am going to do. If you're super busy, like, yo, I either don't have the time to do it, or I just don't know the steps to do it. So here's what you can do. Number 1, there's a nice tool that is called, drum roll please, it's called ChatGPT. You can use any of the language models, but literally just ask it how to set up a Facebook ad from scratch, right? ChatGPT.com, and they walk you through it. Just follow it step by step. If you have any questions, you can ask it additional questions. But they're gonna walk you through it step by step, right? And literally just go in. They're gonna tell you where to click, where to go, how to set up the pixels. They're gonna walk you through how you define your campaign objectives. Which, by the way, you want to go with leads. So that's the one you want to do. You know, they're going to tell you how to set up the ad, right? So, which, by the way, you want to do detailed targeting, and I like to do influencers. So when you start doing it, you know, depending on what your industry is, but I definitely like influencers. I definitely like people with job titles. You know, it could be men, women. I mean, you could do that. I would choose the USA. You could pick a gender. That's fine. If you know, like if it's just women, obviously just pick women. Um, you know, start off with automatic placement, so you don't have to worry about that. Recommended budget, if you could do $20 a day, that's ideal. And then you want to do 2 ad budgets or ad campaigns so you can test against each other. But if you just need to start and you're really bootstrapping it, you can do $5 a day. I like to start off with a video, so all of the information that we gathered, do it as a video. They're going to tell you how to upload your ad creative. They're telling you right in your primary text, which at this point we've already done. Into your website link or your lead form. I usually recommend just start with a lead form so you don't have to mess with funnels and trying to figure out how you set up funnels. So you can start off with that, and you know, learn more, sign up, get offer, whatever it is. If they're downloading a guide, use download, or you could use learn more. So don't overthink that. And then publish. Like that. Like that's what we want to do. So with this process, I really just gave you like a crash course on what you need to do in order to start running these ads profitably, get the type of leads that you want to get, and be able to either set it up yourself, or we have an ads agency where we can run these ads for you. If you like, look, looks good, sounds good, but I'd rather just have you do it and not think about it and just call the leads and sign them up into the program. That's completely fine too. We got a lot of folks who that is what they do. So if you want to go that route, you can absolutely do that. Or if you want to take the time to learn it, then you can absolutely just take the time to learn how to set it up. Setting it up, really, it might be frustrating for your first few times you're trying to do it, but you'll get used to it. But that's actually not the hard part. The hardest part is really mastering the process that we talked about in terms of actually following the paid system, so you can use that to actually make your ads effective. All right. So with that being said, I want you to continue to be great. And remember this one thing. If you don't remember nothing else, slow motion is better than no motion. Let's work.